Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen, the channel that brings you your team every single day. The channel is run by the fans for you, the fan. Guys, if you need your daily content, your daily update on Glasgow Rangers, this is the channel to come to. And the way to make sure you never, ever miss out is to make sure you hit the sub, you ring the notification bell, set it to all, you will never miss out on the content. Well, we're going to talk about a few things this morning, this afternoon, or this evening, obviously, depending on when you are picking up this video. We've got the very latest on the Danilo deal. Obviously, Michael Beale alluded to that in his press conference post-match, post-pre-season friendly against Newcastle. I'm going to talk about Borna Barisic as well on his possible move to the English Premier League. We've also got some other little bits and pieces all about the club to talk about. So without further ado, we need to get on with it, don't we? We need to talk all things Rangers. That's what you came here for this morning, this afternoon, or this evening. So we're going to start off by talking about this man here, Borna Barisic. Well, Borna Barisic has been linked with a move away from the club this off-season, this pre-season. Now, Borna has 1 year left on his deal. And I know that the club are absolutely anxious, I think, to avoid the situation that we had this season just gone, where 5 players were able to walk for absolutely nothing. When realistically, you look at it and you're probably looking at somewhere in the region of £30 million worth of talent walking out the door for absolutely nothing. A bit of a bad bit of contract management there by the now departed Ross Wilson. Now, Borna Barisic started the game against Newcastle at Ibrox in the Alan McGregor testimonial on Tuesday night. And it's fair to say that Borna did not have his best of games. Now, a number of fans have said that it's far too early to be condemning Borna for his performance, whereas other fans have stated that, well, this is not actually just condemning him for one performance, this is condemning him for a number of performances. And what we saw on Tuesday night against Newcastle was what we've seen from Borna for at least a couple of seasons now, the falling asleep and not picking up runners at the back post, tucking in and not covering the man coming round, not covering round, not cutting out crosses, not tackling. Now, undoubtedly, Borna is an excellent deliverer of a dead ball, excellent deliverer of a cross, very good attacking fullback, perhaps my better as a wing back than an actual fullback. Borna does seem to be, really struggle with cutting out crosses. Tackling is not one of his strengths. And certainly the acquisition of Ridvan Yilmaz last summer by Rangers has placed Borna's future at the club in even more doubt. Ridvan, much better going backwards, much better at defending, much better at tracking back, closing down crosses, tackling, and also very good at getting forward as well. I think, if you look at Ridvan, he is by far the more complete fullback than Borna. If Borna is a, say, 7 out of 10, Ridvan is a 10 out of 10, I think, for that. Ridvan is a lot better player than the Croatian international. You work on the basis as well that Borna is now into his last year of his deal, and he's 29 years old. So any money we can get for a player fast becoming 30 would be very, very beneficial. He looked very unconvincing against Newcastle, and Newcastle, I think, deliberately set out to really target him. Kieran Trippier seemed to have his way with Borna on multiple occasions and really did dominate. And Borna was, to blame for not picking up Miguel Almiron at the back post for their opening goal. He was eventually replaced, of course, by Ridvan Yilmaz on the hour mark. And you know what? The defence looked a whole lot better with Ridvan at left back than it ever did with Borna at left back. I think the overwhelming feeling has to be that Ridvan Yilmaz is the left back for this coming season. Ridvan is the player we have to play. Now, Borna has been linked with a move to Nottingham Forest, where Ross Wilson, former sporting director of Rangers, is currently working. And certainly the performance that he gave against Newcastle, I think, has further increased the desire of Rangers fans to sell him to Forest. He was linked by the Scottish Sun. It was apparently a £2 million transfer fee that was on offer due to the fact that Harry Toffolo apparently faces a long betting ban. Now, Borna Barisic signed for Rangers in 2018, and I think has been it's been a constant, hasn't he? He really has been an ever-present, well, not ever-present, but a frequent player for us over the last 5 seasons. But you know what? He's frequently suffered from, catastrophes, hasn't he? That defeat at Parkhead, for example, springs to mind. Obviously, something that Scott mentioned, on last night's podcast. If you haven't listened to last night's podcast, go back and give it a listen. Now, he has, I think, what we would call world-class delivery at times. And, he definitely is good going forward, but his defending is not great. The fact that Rangers have, obviously, Dujon Sterling, who can play left back. You have Vid van Yilmaz. They also have, obviously, Yefko coming through, who looks very, very good indeed. Adam Devine can also play at left back. I think, there is a real desire within the club now to, I think, move on Borna Barisic and sell him for, whatever you can get for him, because at the end of the day, he will be out of contract. Now, quite where we're up to with those contract negotiations is still very much up for discussion. Borna is clearly, has the admirers, but I think there is a reticence to perhaps sell him. Michael Beale seems to like Borna Barisic more. Michael Beale seems to, want to start him more regularly than not. And perhaps if we do go to 3 at the back, perhaps Borna would be the better wing back. But for me, I think, we've got to kind of follow up this interest from Nottingham Forest and hope that they are serious about passing on £2 million to secure the services of the Croatian international. Because I think, like you said, it's not just that pre-season performance against Newcastle. It's not just that lack of defending, that lack of defensive ability against Newcastle. It is a culmination of a couple of seasons of worth of work that is all very similar. They're falling asleep. They're not covering round the back. They're getting tucked in too far. Now, some of that may be down to the fact that he was playing with Ben Davies, and Ben Davies is not a great defender, is he? So, perhaps he's covering for Ben and Ben's weaknesses. But overall, for me, it's time to move Borna on. Hope if we can get a bit of money for him, a couple of £1 million will be well worth it and could be easily reinvested into this squad. So let's hope that Borna is going to be moved on. I think it is time for Borna to move on. We do need to freshen it up even more. And just a reminder that for the Ibrox Rocks, that yes, that's Heart and Hand, tweeted out this from Michael Beale's press conference. He talked very positively about Cifuentes being here soon, about Dessa's Roof and Lawrence being available for Saturday. But the top of there was the kind of like, I don't know, throw the dog a bone, really, throw the media a bone, wasn't it? It was Danilo. He said that one of a number of strikers we're talking to. Now, there was no kind of hint as to who those other strikers may be. And certainly the media have certainly rumoured it this morning on this afternoon, this evening. I've rumoured it, constantly as to who that could be. Josh Madger's name is one that I have seen repeatedly come up. Obviously, Josh Madger, who is obviously still without a club and is available on a free transfer at this moment in time. So that's certainly one name that has been rumoured. Certainly Benny Traore appears to be one that Rangers will miss out on, with the likelihood that he will join Sheffield United for in the region of £5 million. A good deal for the Blades of Sheffield. Now, Rangers are continually linked, and it's obviously, with Michael Beale's comments the other night, show that we are obviously very interested in securing the services of Brazilian striker Danilo. Now, Danilo has been someone who has been constantly, I think, pursued by Rangers ever since that initial bid was rejected. A second bid has gone in. Now, it appears that the move for Danilo has stalled because Arne Slot, who is the manager of Feyenoord, has impressed on the board that he does not want to sell any further players until he gets in some new ones. He's talked about the fact that he doesn't want the squad gutting anymore. And if they are going to sell players, if they are going to continue to ship out players, he wants replacements for those players. Now, it seems that the transfer of Danilo is dependent on Feyenoord signing a new striker. It now appears that may have hit yet another glitch. Now, it's clear that Danilo wants to come to Rangers. I think, that he has kind of dropped a lot of hints in his social media that he wants to be here in Glasgow, that he wants the opportunity to play for the club. But it seems that Rangers will be continuing to play the waiting game for Danilo after Feyenoord missed out on their successor for him. Now, Michael Beale has obviously said that he wants him. The Dutch champions are going to, though, force our Rangers to wait for Danilo if they want to sign him. Like I said, Schlott wants replacement. He wants cover for the Champions League. First choice, Santiago Jimenez is suspended for the opening 2 group games, apparently a breakover from previous European game. So Santiago and Jimenez will not be there. Feyenoord want a striker, a class striker, someone who can come in and sub for Jimenez. Obviously, Danilo could be that man, but if Danilo is not at the club, they need someone new. But it very much seems that you know, that Feyenoord have been after a number of players, but as yet have failed to get any across the line. Emmanuel Emega was on Feyenoord's radar. However, the Sturm Graz attacker looks set to apparently turn down a move to the Feyenoord. He apparently wants to go elsewhere. He wants to go to Ligue 1 and play for Strasbourg, which does seem a very odd one considering that Feyenoord are Dutch champions. But it seems that the reason why that deal fell through was that Strasbourg were able to offer Omega more money than Feyenoord, which does seem a surprise for a Champions League team, but certainly one that kind of rings true with ourselves, doesn't it? But it seems that collapse of that deal will cost us Danilo for the meantime. Like I said, Michael Beale has been very positive in his praise for Danilo, positive in the fact that he does want the player, but as I've said, it does seem to be a case of having to wait now to secure his services. Something that a number of Rangers fans, and I think Rangers in general, will not be too pleased with. They want to get this squad settled. They want to get this squad moving in the right direction as soon as is possible. So that's what we're up to with Danilo. It does seem that because the deal to sign a new striker with Feyenoord has hit a glitch, the Danilo deal will be delayed further. Next, I want to just praise Rangers fans for the other night. Let's just say, guys, you were absolutely magnificent. Absolutely superb. With your praise of Alan McGregor, your support of the club the other night against Newcastle. Absolutely superb. It does seem that the singing section in the Copeland Road was, absolutely fantastic again. But well done to the actual fans for that. I also want to mention a report that I have literally just found online. You know what? I'm actually shocked at this report. That I've located it and found it. So I was just scrolling through whilst I was, coming up with stuff to share with you today. Finding news, doing some research as I always do, finding stuff to share with you online here and talk to and give opinions on and talk about. But I found this. This is absolutely fantastic. Now, we shared a video earlier today, earlier on the channel, of Victoria's latest Swarovski top. And it appears the Swarovski top and the channel have made it into the newspaper, the Scottish Sun. Let's see if I can screen share this with you. Here we go. Let me see if I can pull this up with you. Here we go. So Victoria's shirt, here we go, is famous. You can watch the video. True Blue Glam Rangers Swarovski Crystal Girl shows off her latest diamond embedded strip and explains why she's so proud of it. Rangers Swarovski Crystal Girl Victoria Searle reckons her latest diamond encrusted new season design is a thing of beauty. There's Victoria there, and there's the Swarovski crystals on the shirt, and it even mentions the channel. Victoria, also a co-host for Jer's YouTube channel Glasgow Rangers Nation, teased the new videos in a video and on her Twitter account. She said, "I've just finished off the brand new Swarovski shirt for next season. This is the first of its kind. I've had quite a few orders coming through, people ordering for Christmas, because does it take a while to get done and for birthdays." Absolutely fantastic to have that in the media and to have the Scottish Sun sharing not only the channel but Victoria's fantastic work. Well done to Victoria. And guys, if you have not yet caught the video for the Swarovski jersey,
Hey everyone, hope you all are doing well today. So I just finished up the brand new Swarovski crystal shirt for this season. This is the first of its kind. I know I've had quite a few orders come through. People are ordering for Christmas now because it does take a while to get done, and also for birthdays. So I'm excited to show you guys this piece. This is the first of its kind to come out, the very first one I finished, and I'm really proud of it because some of the crystals are a lot smaller, so the details really shine and sparkle. So thank you guys all for your support, and I hope you like this new season shirt that I created.
And there we go, guys. Victoria's shirt, and it's not only that, but it's also in the Scottish Sun today. Fantastic news on the website. Thank you, Victoria, for that. Absolutely amazing, guys. Fantastic shirt. If you're interested in buying a shirt, DM Victoria on Twitter. That will be, a best way you can join it. Other news around Football Scotland reporting that Dave King made a return to Rangers as the former chairman joined Richard Gough and Gary Player for Tuesday's game. Former Rangers chairman Dave King made a surprise return to Ibrox on Tuesday as he joined legendary golfer, the South African Gary Player, and obviously Rangers legend Richard Gough, the ex-Ibrox chief, who has been, very much in dispute with the board, especially with particular Douglas Park, was seen at the game on Tuesday night alongside Rangers legends like Richard Gough, Gordon Jury, and Alex McLeish. That it's interesting to see Dave King back at the club. Dave King obviously played a huge role in Rangers returning to the top in Scotland, having helped oust Mike Ashley and Charles Green from the club in 2015. He also helped bring Stephen Gerrard to the Ibrox, but he left in March 2020 and was replaced by Park as chairman. But interesting to see him back nonetheless. Obviously, other news around is regarding the transfer of Cifu. A lot of people were very mischievous in reporting that he was on a plane to Glasgow. He was, in fact, on a plane to holiday. Michael Beale has insisted, though, that this is one that we want to get across the line as soon as is possible. He does clearly rate Cifu. But overall, I think the fact is clear that Michael Beale wants to bring in one or two more players. I think that is clear. Centre-back, centre midfielder, and a striker. We're hoping those deals will be done sooner rather than later. Obviously, players now starting to leave. Scott Wright, although he was on the bench against Newcastle, was pictured and interviewed at Glasgow Airport this morning. Scott talked about the fact that he was off to Turkey to negotiate for the negotiations, to make decisions over his future, to see whether this was the right move for him to Pendikspor. Certainly those that were worried that the deal had fallen through after that, because after Wright was named on the bench. It's clear that obviously was not the case, because he is on his way out to Turkey to talk about those deals, talk about the deal to send him there. Well, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of any of the stories that we have discussed on the video this morning, this afternoon, or this evening, depending on obviously when you are picking it up. Remember to subscribe, hit that like as well for me, and ring the notification bell. You can also join the channel for as little as 99p. Now, guys, we have got about 45 members at this moment in time. Fantastic support from our members. They get shout outs, they get priority for comment replies, etc., etc. This is, and I just want to share with you a tribute to our members. Thank you, one and all. Thank you to all those members who have joined. Well, it is continuing to be a very busy time for Rangers. We build towards the game against Hamburg on Saturday. Obviously, we'll bring you the very latest on that. We'll bring you a bit of a look back on that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all your support, guys. It does mean the world. You need to do two things for me, guys. Hit that like, and remember, always, always, we are the people.